3.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the illustrious Film Nerds Hour. Today, it is a boys edition, starring yours truly, Nathaniel Shoemaker, as well as...
Noah Sweeto.
And... Doug. Just the first name? Just the pseudonym, Doug? You're like the dude? Just Doug.
Or 80s guy.
We got Doug. Yeah. Welcome, Doug.
So he will be our guest speaker and doing some of the 80s movies. And today we got a real treat for you both, figuratively
was that
and
fun?
literally.
Yeah.
And we are reviewing...
We can dub over this shit.
We're reviewing a movie called The Stuff from 1987.
Yes.
And I've seen this once before. As you guys know, that I watched a lot of my movies off of Amazon Prime. This was a movie that was on there for a while, and it got taken. Actually, I think it's still on there. I don't know about the time of this recording, though.
We could look up where people could watch it.
Yeah. We'll do that for you. And that may change when this episode comes. By the time this episode gets out,
we can't control the streaming services.
No, we
what's
can't.
Available.
Yeah, which is
we're not powerful enough.
Okay, 1985. I'm sorry, because the Blob came out.
The Blab.
In 1987.
Maybe
87.
we'll talk.
No,
about
1988.
Maybe we'll talk about the Blob another time. Maybe.
It might be the next episode.
I actually have to sneeze now.
But this movie overall, it's got a good 69% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, of course it does. I'm assuming the fan base is leaving it at that.
45 in audience scores. I mean, I think it was a pretty decent movie. I mean, where do you guys want to start with this? Because I've already seen it, so I can already give my opinion. But what did you guys think of this, seeing it for the first time? Because have you guys seen it before, or is this your first time?
I've seen the Dead Meat podcast on it. Check them out. They're not sponsoring us. They're good stuff.
This was actually my first time watching it.
Or hearing of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That too.
Well, yeah, so spoilers for The Stuff. That goes without saying. And where can they watch it if they want to pause this, watch it, and come back?
Tubi, which I don't think is ever going to change, to be honest. You can watch it on Tubi. Currently, at the time that we were recording this, you can do it on Amazon Prime. That could always change. Otherwise, you can rent it from YouTube, Google Movies, and or Google Play Movies and TV, Vudu. And it says it's not available, or it says it is available on iTunes, but I'm looking at it on Android. Yes, I am a Samsung fan. Get over it.
Ugh, you're what's wrong with this country. Okay, so The Stuff, it's
confusing.
It seems like a commentary on capitalism and consumer culture. Would you agree?
I do, and I think that's what made this movie.
Yeah, it really is. That wasn't just me being stupid and saying random crap. I think that's actually true.
That's one of the things I did like about this movie, though, is that it makes those two so well.
Yeah.
I mean, for a campy movie, in a sense, like with the budget and everything, you wouldn't have expected it. Because Larry Cohen's done some other low-budget movies.
Yeah. The master that is Larry Cohen.
Yeah, but
he makes some great stuff.
He did do it, and he did do it very well. And if you look at some of the different art for around the world for the promotion of the film, they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I love the cartons, the ice cream cartons.
Ice cream cartons.
Yeah.
I mean, like, too, just the posters. Like, you saw the flip cover. I got mine used, so I didn't get the little booklet with it from the actual Arrow company, but I got a used Blu-ray edition of The Blob.
Yeah. Shout out to Arrow.
Or not The Blob. I did get that too, but The Stuff.
Yeah, The Stuff.
And Arrow Video's done a really good job, both with restoration and definitely their special features and kind of giving us an insight into the special features and behind the scenes with director's commentary.
I swear, every special features of an Arrow movie comes with a documentary about the movie that's as long as the movie.
And that's nice, though.
Yeah,
because
it's really nice.
80s are undoubtedly, which we have to cover in general discussion about,
for sure.
Why the modern movies suck nowadays compared to 80s movies.
Yeah,
and
not all the modern movies.
Not all of them, but in terms of practical effects, they're not used half as much as they should be. Like, out of the Thing prequel from 2011, I started watching that, and even on DVD, it should look that bad even on DVD.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's because the industry changed so much with technology.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your special effects artist nowadays does computer animation and, like, editing and stuff like that, whereas special effects artist back then was also the dude who did the makeup.
Which is what's good, because, as a film student too, I mean, I know there's a lot of work in editing, but you can only spend so much time, and I feel like, because you look at something like The Avengers, and if you watch on 4K, it looks fake. I can watch on Blu-ray, you can even watch on a bad HD TV, it still looks like you're watching real armor fly through the air. And it's the best looking Avengers or MCU movie out of all of them.
Oh, for sure.
Undoubtedly. with CGI. They did very well. It seems like that 1992 or 1992, 1995, somewhere between there it started. And early 2000s cameras, except for TV, movie effects sucked.
I feel like the technology was available prior to this, but I feel like the real thing that put everyone on the trend of, CGI and stuff like that was definitely Jurassic Park.
Oh,
because they made it look amazing. But then everyone else tried it and they're like, it doesn't look half as good.
Because they were too much in a rush. What made like It? What made Bill Skarsgård, the It movie adaptation, what made that good is because, like, even the scene where he's attacking Georgie. Mm-hmm. Not only did the prosthetics of the teeth actually make him drool, but they put some of the CGI in there at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
They relied both, Andy did great by relying both on prosthetics as much as CGI.
Yeah.
So even some of the more drool was artificial and some of it was real as well.
Yeah, and Bill Skarsgård is an amazing performer.
Very, very well. And I don't like to... We'll definitely do It in another episode, but I will say that I don't like when people try to compare him and...
Tim Curry.
Because they're two different times, and it's not fair because Stephen King's miniseries could not get up on its feet on that time in television. There was no way that it was going to get up on its feet.
It's like comparing Robin Williams to Will Smith. Like, it's different time periods.
Two different times, yeah.
The references are different, whatever.
But asking you, Douglas, as well, how do you feel like as somebody who loves 80s movies and stuff like that? What did you feel about this movie?
It was confusing, but I mean, it was a pretty decent movie, I guess, overall for what it was trying to do.
I enjoyed it. I feel like this wasn't a movie that was meant to be taken like
super seriously.
Oh, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
It's like, hey, you want to kill an hour and a half and get some like cool visual effects and some fun. Go watch it. I feel like that's a theme for all the movies we watch. Like,
well, that's what we're doing on this channel because it's easy to do some of those live things and go, yeah, this is an Oscar, blah, 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 blah.
This is an art, it's a fun time. Yeah.
And, that's why my unpopular opinion, I'm just going to put it out there right now, is I don't say that The Godfather and them are... They're not as good as critically acclaimed, in my opinion.
Really?
No. I think they're a movie. I think they just have a good story. They're well shot, and there's very well actors. I think what really makes a movie and what makes it enjoyable for me is two things. Not downplaying another movie because of the way you direct yours, because that's both disrespectful as a director. I get that,
we said, we won't say who, but
as we know, if you know some of the controversy back, I'm not even going to say what franchise in particular, but some of the modern movies, we had a couple certain directors criticizing what real cinema was. I don't believe in that. I believe that cinema is a craft.
Exactly.
There's no landmark. This is better because this is... Yeah.
There's no landmark for how to paint. Painting is just you paint.
You make art. I mean,
exactly.
If somebody can literally just throw paint on a canvas and it's called art and it could be put in a museum...
Yeah, Jackson Pollock style,
Yeah, there's no reason that cinema should have a dub.
If an old banana can be duct taped to a wall and put in an art museum, I don't think we need to be so stuffy about what a movie is and what isn't a movie.
Yeah, as one of my instructors, Andrew Hunt would say, is we're not gods. No. Filmmakers are not gods. We're not superheroes. We're not police. Our movies aren't saving anybody. So don't try and act like a god just because you made a good movie that people enjoy.
I mean, there are some people who make the movies purely for the intent of saving lives, in the sense of
if
helping people cope with helping people cope with suicide and stuff like that. Like, I can't remember the movie, but Courageous
is one of them.
Yeah, I think it's called The Shed or The Shack or something. But there's a Japanese movie where this guy went to a festival and talked about it, and they asked him what was your goal for this, and he was like, to save people's lives. And if I save one life from doing this movie, then I did my job. And it's if that's what you want to do with your art, go for it.
I mean, that's a good positive thing. I just, but I believe that cinema is a craft. There is no specific definition of cinema. No.
There's no, list of things you have to do.
If you did it for passion and you enjoyed what you do, that is what cinema is. And that is exactly what Larry Cohen did with this movie. The stuff, which is great, right down to just the branding. So basically, to kind of give you some insight onto the stuff, it's kind of like The Blob, which Nathaniel laughs because I say that they actually Arrow Video put, it's like a mix of the movie Street Trash, which we will do a review on.
We
even
talked
though,
about it a little bit on
if
the
you remember-
Introduction to Cleo episode.
Yeah.
We will talk about it fully.
it's like a trauma movie, but if a trauma movie was more confusing.
Yeah.
If a trauma movie was more confusing. That's like saying if a tire was more round. Like, it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but you're totally right.
It's a clusterfuck, to say the least.
Emphasis on both the cluster and the fuck.
From what I got from it, can I try to describe
Yes,
it
please.
in a matter of
Yeah,
seconds?
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yogurt comes alive.
Basically, it's
I
basically
think
like a
it was-
yogurt or ice cream.
I think it was yogurt.
It looks like either melted ice cream. Some shots, it kind of looks like whipped cream.
I think
A little bit.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I heard them say yogurt in the
They did say it
commercial.
was yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
the
don't-
branding. It looks like, yogurt, melted ice cream, maybe very old milk. I
Elmer's
don't know.
Glue.
Green.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't chunky until
Oh,
in the movie, but
there is a part where it's chunky. You're correct.
Yeah, there's some also just stellar effects.
Yeah. Oh.
the passion
God.
of this craft, except for like some of the green screen, but a lot of the
Oh,
visual
God, yeah.
effects, even the makeup that looked fake. I mean, there was a couple scenes like
Yeah.
we'll get to. First off, to start off this movie, we basically have these two. Was it miners? I'm still trying to kind of figure that out. Or they were working in the winter, but I think they were coal miners or something. Or they were,
Yeah.
They were drilling for
Oil?
Oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was oil.
I think they were
miners.
oil drillers. Yeah.
Yeah. When you said minors, I was like, I don't remember there being many children in this movie.
Yeah, I
There's
think it was.
Yeah.
It was like two miners.
They looked like just rednecks. Look at this thing on the ground.
Yeah. So
Come
they-
on, Cletus.
They
What?
go to this bubbling white stuff that you can tell is still.
Who just eats it?
Yeah, they just eats it. So it doesn't look like snow at all. You could tell it's like some sort of like yogurt looking thing.
Yeah, he's
and the
like-
dude just puts his fingers in it and then sniffs it and licks it.
Tastes good. And then this other guy comes by. You eating snow? And I'm like, is this like a city play? Like,
Yeah,
with some
and
community theater
I mean,
crap?
I'll be honest. I've heard Alaska was pretty isolated, but this is extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
it basically says, "Come over here and try it." So the one dude tries it.
He like forces it down his mouth. He's like, here.
Yeah, he like basically puts his fingers in his mouth. If I remember right, which is weird.
Call. I'm sorry. Was that sound effect too perfect? All right.
Yeah.
So then cut to like how
Like
how long
almost
later?
instantly cut to them like marketing it everywhere.
Yeah, and they got a catchy little theme song, which the theme song was well written.
Can't
I think
get
they got.
enough
I'll be
of the
honest.
stuff.
I'll be honest. The only problem I had when it did that is I was kind of confused when it just jumped from two guys tasting this stuff in the ground
To
to
now it's
a bunch of
on-
branding everywhere.
Well, no. First thing we get after the jump is we meet the kid.
Oh, yeah.
The main kid.
Oh yeah, the
Who
family in that.
Gets
Yeah.
hungry in the middle of the night.
And then it's in his
And-
fridge.
Yeah,
It's-
they've
it's-
already marketed this.
It's turned over and it's like moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, he opens the fridge, it's turned over, and it's like moving out of its container. He freaks out, slams the fridge, and then his dad comes and gives him shit for being awake or something or other.
It's 3 in the
and that
morning. I
comes-
thought you were a burglar.
And then he
Like,
starts having a midlife crisis eating yogurt.
Yeah, basically.
don't we all?
Man's marriage is falling apart. You can
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
by the way he acts to his kid.
It sounds like he realized his marriage was in shambles because he told his wife about a dream where a gorilla asked for a banana martini and she didn't
Rick
laugh at
Sanchez.
it or something. Yeah,
What?
what? No.
So
the thing, he sees the stuff moving and then he closes the door and his dad opens it and it's in the cup and he's like, it looks fine to me.
and it's
Okay.
upright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Oh wait, I
completely
thought it
back
was
to
still
normal.
like tipped over, but
It was still
not
tipped
in the thing.
over. I thought it was still tipped over.
Yeah, it
It's
was like
just-
tipped over and
it
open.
was
it just,
in the thing.
It wasn't
It
moving
wasn't
around.
moving
It was in the
around, yeah.
container.
Oh, it might have been.
I think.
Did we get our point across by both of us saying the same thing over each other? It's like in the Goonies where everybody's talking the same time.
But after that, we go to the next day,
Yeah.
in which the boy wakes up and his family and them are all eating the stuff. And but now the boy, for obvious reasons, is paranoid, and he tells him not to eat it.
Yeah. And then we
Which-
get Supermarket Rampage.
Which,
Oh, yeah.
the dialogue,
Oh yeah, and then
the dialogue is a little bit funny there if you have a mind like mine.
It seems like
Yeah.
a poorly written episode of Family Ties. Try and eat it. There's no calories and it's good for you. Like
yeah.
Yeah, because what did he say? He's like,
doesn't even leave stains. Yeah.
"Don't eat that." And
they
he's like,
slaps
"Why
it.
not? There's nothing wrong with it."
Yeah, and then he
Or
slaps it out of
he's
his
like, "It's
hand.
rotten or something." And I made fun of the dialogue.
It's bad. Doesn't look It's spoiled. Doesn't look spoiled to me. And then he knocks it out of their hand, and they clean it. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
slaps
even
it all
leave
over.
stains.
And then
Well, he slaps out of his mom's hand. They start freaking out about it, and he runs out of the house.
Yeah.
And then the mom starts to wipe it up and realizes that it's just an easy cleanup.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
I hope it doesn't same, but all this stuff just magically like comes off right away. So it's like there's not even a tiny little mark left behind.
Unsettling.
yeah, and
Which
then
kind of already gives you that uncomfortable vibe.
Then we move on to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Where we commit arson inside a supermarket.
Not arson. He didn't set it on fire.
No, I meant
vandalism.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
How'd you mix up vandalism and arson?
Yeah, potato.
Potato, vodka, it's all the same. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm trying to remember this kid's name. Let me pull that up.
yeah, pull up the IMDb.
His name is Yes.
Yes, and?
Because, well, they don't really use the names a whole lot.
No.
In this movie.
I think the main guy we see later just calls him Mo. He just calls
He's
him
David Mo Rutherford. Jason.
Jason. he just calls him Kid, I swear.
Yeah, most of the time.
Come on in, Kid.
I still love his name.
Because I want Mo money, right? That's one of his little quips.
Yeah.
Because I see money and I want Mo.
Yeah, and I believe it's after the supermarket. So basically, Jason goes in to the supermarket and he
starts
sees...
wrecking.
He sees a little kid in a cart eating it, and he's like, "Don't do it!" and throws it on the ground. And then he runs and destroys displays and moves them out of aisles and breaks freezers. And I'm like,
He
Yeah.
breaks the whole freezer window, yeah.
And then,
full of
like,
stuff.
after 3 minutes of this kid destroying a supermarket, they finally
yeah,
catch him.
Was he covered in Vaseline? Why were they not able to grab him? Like,
Well, I mean, there also is the fact that, let's be real, a bunch of adults grabbing a kid.
yeah. I mean, it was the 80s. It was a different time.
I
As
mean,
he's destroying
the
a store.
woman, the mom of the kid in the cart grabbed him.
Like,
and
why
that
did
was
you
supposed to
doing?
be-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like a decent response. I mean, you're just at the store, all of a sudden you turn around, you see some kids smashing your kids.
My favorite
thing.
response is when he's got the broom and he's knocking down that
Oh,
row
yeah.
of them, and one of the clerks who's setting up the display looks at him, and this is his reaction. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just the most muted, like, same shit as always.
And let's
Oh, no.
let's be very clear that it literally, like, this whole movie, like, their props and the amount
Time.
Actually,
That was spent.
wait.
of the buckets of the stuff and the signs and everything that they put for these grocery in these scenes and these boxes with the stuff label on them, all of them were like there's hundreds.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering about something now that I think about it.
Please continue.
So they're making like a display, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it supposed to be refrigerated or not? Because that was
I think
like
either
outdoor.
or.
Okay.
I-
Because there's
either
some
or.
in the freezers and there's some just on the aisles. So
Okay,
I guess
got
it's
it.
preference.
They didn't really specify.
yeah.
Because I guess the implication is it's sealed, so it won't go bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
just some
guess.
people like the stuff cold, some don't, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
How-
you can eat ice cream warm. It's just not going to be solid either.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting
Well,
and sadder.
I think eventually ice cream will spoil though if it sits out too long.
No, I feel like how it spoils is... Oh, if it sits out, yeah. I feel like it also gets freezer burn, right?
If it's in there too long,
Yeah,
eventually it'll start to
and
get
it gets
freezer.
like ice over it.
Yeah, so the stuff is pretty much like there's nothing that really stops it in terms of like it can survive in extreme temperatures or whatnot. And,
Kind of. I mean, didn't. Or
Well, I mean,
I
they...
won't say it,
Yeah, let's give that... Don't give away the farm.
yeah.
but yeah, moving on after the supermarket, after they catch Jason, we cut to Mo on this boat with some sophisticated rich people. Who
I think it
Oh,
was-
yeah.
Oh wait, wasn't it like the
Hired-
businessmen selling the stuff, or like?
That's later.
No,
That's later.
No, they are. I think they want him to be kind of like a private investigator because I think
Oh,
they have
yeah.
a part in the company.
I forgot about the boat, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we first meet Mo.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of, he kind of is a quippy guy, so we know that he's full of quips.
He's
and
got a vibe to
smart
him.
ass. He's a smart ass.
Yeah.
Which is my personality, so obviously I can relate to him.
Yeah,
Donovan.
same here. Well, I'm more of a sarcastic genius, but
Uh-huh.
I don't want to pat myself too much on the back, but... Ow, that hurt my arm. All right. Continue.
But basically they hire Mo to start looking into this, and he poses kind of more as a journalist,
Yeah.
if anything. So they kind of hire him as private eye.
Does he say he's a part of another company?
Yeah, a part of a rival company. He says a lot of different things to a lot of different people, which ultimately, which it's not really a spoiler because it's kind of clear. Eventually, he's actually an undercover CIA agent.
Because why not?
Because
undercover.
If you think about it, it kind of made sense.
He's under a lot of covers.
Exactly.
He's very cold.
I thought of it this way too. That it makes sense because you got to be suspicious. You can't tell me that the government's going to be not be suspicious of something that's selling so well.
It's selling so well
out of nowhere, and like they're sold out, and it's everywhere.
And it's not like it's just in stores. There's like little stuff like McDonald's.
Oh
like
yeah,
little fast food restaurants.
Yeah, we literally have, which is really cool. We literally have like a little
like
80s ice cream stand. Yeah, like a little Sonic where you can walk up and
get some
little
of the
cups.
stuff.
Drive up.
They're in diners.
Oh yeah.
But the thing about that is that the little ice cream stand is that they took the time to actually make an LED building, like customize one of those to say the stuff on it, decorate it with all the colors and themes.
Get the rotating ice cream cone on the top.
Yeah, and we even get a truck logo, and there's one on a limo too later in the movie too for the company.
Oh yeah.
Truck.
I mean, I'll be honest. The one thing I love the name. Like, it's not like an appealing name. It's literally just the stuff.
Yeah,
It's not like something you would like. Oh, that's an appealing name. The stuff.
It sounds like you get confused a lot. Hey, go to the store and buy me the stuff. What stuff? The stuff. Yeah, what stuff? Like,
bring me the stuff.
Yeah. What?
Which for Chips. All of you, there's a little quick side note. There is a Grievous meme, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah.
In which Disney and Warner Brothers like to copyright for some odd reason.
Put $1 in the jar. Put $1 in the jar.
Hey! I said Warner Brothers too.
Wasn't
just Disney.
You said one of them. No, okay. So.
There's a one of those meme videos that Grievous says the suck. So every time I think of the stuff, when I first got the stuff, I opened it and I'm like, oh, the stuff. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, did I just say it like that? And ever since I've just been like, the stuff. Let's watch the stuff.
That's how you introed it to us, and we were both like, want to get talking?
Let's watch the stuff.
Like, you're really energetic about this trauma-esque movie. Good job for you. Your life is neat. All right.
So yeah, basically, after we meet Mo, find out which going back to after we meet Mo,
he goes to the commercial shoot. Correct?
He goes up to the business guy in the building, doesn't he?
Commercial shoot first.
No, he goes to commercial shoot first.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. And his cover is he's scouting the woman to do commercials for his oil company,
which is really funny because this really did feel like a marketing movie. Like, you'd believe that this is an actual product. The amount of fake commercials they made and the jingle that goes with it.
Well, and it's like, it's such a commentary on commercials now because we think of like, because the commercial they're filming is women in mink coats and swimsuits.
Going down a runway.
Stopping and eating it, and then walking back. And you watch it and think, that's absurd. And then you realize that's all commercials are.
Yeah, like the Trojan Man or whatever.
Exactly.
Which I absolutely hate those commercials.
I guess
no offense.
Advertising companies learned early on that the one thing every human can identify with is sex appeal, and if you put that behind your product, people will buy your product.
No offense to any of the companies, I'd still be willing to do a sponsorship.
Yeah, if you do a 30-minute commercial where 28 minutes is a girl making a noise of a particular suggestion, and then the last 2 seconds is her saying, buy Pepsi, you're going to go out and buy a Pepsi.
I mean, I just don't like the Trojan Man, because, like, for some of the things, it just looks stupid. I'm sorry. It looks like, monk? It literally looks like Jeffrey Lebowski got even more poor,
you know what they
threw his life down the drain, and spent all his money on freaking condoms, and was like, oh yeah, I bang. When really he just has a bunch of condoms.
They're trying.
You can't forget the robe.
Yeah, the robe. They're trying to write off of another hype train because Old Spice realized if you market weird to people, they'll buy your stuff.
But we like that because at Cherry Crews, watching Cherry Crews move his pecs up and down and turn into a motorcycle is awesome.
Wait, when
look at the man. Now back
motorcycle?
to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me.
Yes. Which is funny. And one of the suggestive things in there is that these two girls take a spoonful of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, and they give it to
and
each
put it
other.
in each other's mouths.
I want you to feed each other the stuff.
Which
And I'm like,
I'm going to say the worst
yeah.
thing that I've ever said on this podcast. That gave me 2 Girls, 1 Cup vibes.
oh,
Please,
I quit. I'm done.
please do not look that up, and please do not crucify me for it.
Don't. Do not.
He's not saying he enjoyed watching it. We
No,
just know he
don't.
has seen it.
My friend showed me that. Somebody who works on
Yeah.
works on this podcast.
What's your friend's name? Full name.
Oh, no. I'm not going to do that.
So it was you. No, okay.
No, but we do have a friend that works on this podcast, which you'll probably hear his voice, and he'll be on here soon, too.
I have a friend, sure.
But he showed me at like 3 a.m. and I vomited, and yeah. So don't look it up, and if you do, you cannot blame me because your curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. End of story.
We're not
And
telling you.
your-
We're just suggesting.
And your sexual charge. It killed that as well.
And it'll kill your appetite for ice cream if the stuff didn't
Oh,
already.
yeah.
You're a bastard and a
And
whore.
I did say what flavor.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
I'm not.
Stop yourself.
I'm not.
Next
I'm
scene.
not.
What are we talking about?
Which, to be honest, after watching the stuff, did not make me want to eat ice cream. It did make me think twice.
So Mo's got an interesting outfit in this movie. I know what you're saying.
The stuff actually had vanilla ice cream, and I was in the mood to eat it that night. But after I watched the stuff,
Yeah, and you thought that kind of stuff was going to happen.
and
to you.
I was like, it made me question it twice because I'm like, who knows what we could be putting in our ice cream, and we just don't even know it.
But it's got sugar and
The
it's
ice-
delicious.
The ice cream companies are conspiring against us.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing about... I feel like it might be also a commentary on, like, substance abuse, you said, right?
Yeah, it is because as the movie progresses,
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's a lot of people getting addicted
a lot of
to
people
it.
actually like get addicted, like they have a need for the stuff. So
And then it gets kind of funky in a way.
after Mo gets done with this commercial shoot and he meets this woman named Nicole, who's played by Andrea
Markovici.
Markovici.
Andrea Makovic.
And Mo is also played by Michael Morati.
Marathi sounds like a brand
No,
of
that's,
car.
that's David.
Morati. No, that's the
Oh,
character's name.
Mo. I didn't realize that was his
Yep,
name.
and Jason's played by Scott Bloom, by the way. And then we also have...
His brother plays his actual brother.
Yep, and you could tell because they both have very piercing blue eyes, which is kind of scary.
Stop talking about the children's piercing blue eyes. I know
No,
they're
it's
40
actually-
now,
I
but...
think I made a stupid joke.
Scott Bloom actually, like his eyes, both their eyes look very blue, and it's kind of scary.
It is.
It's like when you that one shot in Daddy's Home 2 with...
Don't use the word daddy. Go on.
That's literally the name of the
I
movie!
know. Just redub it, Father's Home or something. But yeah, I know.
My
But,
father figure is
we,
home.
we have that scene
Father
with Mel
figure.
Gibson where they're like talking about Dusty's dad.
Yeah.
And you see his eyes too, and they do a close up of his eyes, and they're super blue, and it's like a raptor's eyes.
Well, Mel Gibson is just freaking frightening.
Mel Gibson is
I mean,
Mel
I wouldn't
Gibson.
mess with him. I wouldn't mess with
No.
him when he was younger, but I definitely wouldn't do it.
No, he's crazy now. Like,
Is he insane?
No, but he knows what Hollywood really is, which we're not gonna say that's for another video entirely, because
yeah, that's for
that's
that's
an issue.
That's for our career suicide video.
That's our down the drain secondary.
But after
But
Mo,
take it down a peg, master cut. Yeah.
after Mo meets Nicole, he basically tells her he gives her his business card, and she has her personal assistant, who does look way too pretty to be an assistant.
we agreed on that.
You would think that she'd be the one running the company,
Or on the runway.
or
if
on the
anything
runway.
else.
She looks like she'd be like the top model or something, or at least like the person who is giving these women like the tips of what to do for modeling.
Yeah.
So basically, after that, Nicole basically tells her to
Cancel my dinner date and make a reservation for
and
9.
do a back check for this to see who this person really is and if he's legit.
Yeah.
And then after that, Mo goes to a gas station, a certain part of town, and that's where he meets Garrett
didn't
Morse.
he go to Georgia or something? Or it was Maywood?
Later. He meets.
Oh, at the gas station.
He meets Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Who's
Oh,
played
yeah.
by Garrett Morris.
Love the name.
Yes, you might have known him as the.
Which is-
he's in New Girl Or no, not New Girl. Two Broke Girls. That's what he said.
Charlie W. Hobbs is who he plays in this movie, but they call him Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Because he was the owner of a chocolate chip cookie company.
Was he? I thought he had a hand in the... Oh no. That's the stuff ran him out of business because
Yeah, exactly.
of that.
That's why he's got a stake in it.
Okay.
But he gets in a fight with Mo, and he's, like, doing karate.
Well, no, he's trying to do what we think is karate.
Yeah, and he's like, my hands are lethal weapons. No, I'm mixing up Mo's voice with Charlie's voice.
Yeah.
Because Mo is very...
Mo has a very southern voice, which makes this movie that much more enjoyable.
He's wearing cowboy boots the
In a
entire
suit.
time.
In a suit.
In a suit, yeah.
And basically, they go back to the gas station after they meet, where we find this guy who... We see the stuff leaking out of this dude's mouth. Yeah. Looks like he had a backcasting couch experience.
Can I just say one thing?
It's true.
Leaking is an understatement.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's literally gushing out of his mouth. Like I said, it was a backcasting couch experience.
If anything, it looks like the marshmallow puff stuff you buy for baking.
We skipped the scene with the dog, but that's fine. Or no. This is after.
Oh yeah, the dog.
Yeah. So it's leaking out of him, and his jaw is
open a bit further than
like.
normal.
Imagine the center of your chest. That's where his jaw is.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, not yet.
Oh yeah.
It was more like that far wide.
It's like
his mouth is
you
pretty
could fit
ample
both
onto his
fists
neck.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it stretches out your mouth, and basically we see all the stuff come out
and attack them,
and it goes out the window, and then we see some yellow version of the stuff.
Yeah.
Which is weird, which we'll explain later because we end up figuring out kind of what that is.
It was kind of funky, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Mo and Charlie end up going to the back, realizing
he breaks open the door.
The dude in the back, where they're like, "What happened to him?" And it looks like he said something witty remark too. Some
never seen
explicit
a man's
jokes.
job ad open before or something. Yeah. Mo makes a lot of suggestive humor in this movie,
which is exactly like me.
Okay.
And they end up pop up. Which Mo then proceeds to try and pursue the stuff after it's left out the window, and Mo basically is saying, what did he say? He's basically says, "You're gonna go after that without a weapon."
Oh yeah, he's like my hands are lethal weapon.
No, Mo says to him, "You said your hands are
gun?
lethal weapons, right? Well, I'm gonna need them, so let's hope that's true."
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna need him to kill me if
If
true.
that thing converts me.
Yeah. But then they get attacked, right?
They get attacked by some people, in which
oh god, I remember that.
We see Charlie for the very first time punch a guy, and
his face
punches him, and his face crunches inward.
Yeah, and it's
Does his jaw come off?
Like imagine.
No.
Oh wait, no, that was the other guy.
Imagine punching a mannequin, but it's a person.
But it has a very, very hollow face. I wouldn't even say a mannequin, because mannequins are still more.
Imagine punching a rubber mask.
It looks like one of those Debbie Bart things. What do you call them? And it's like those crunchy bars that have all the little squares on them.
Oh, what? I think it is
like
Crunch Bar, isn't it?
No, that's a candy. Oh, it's a wafer bar. It looks like a wafer. That's what the inside of his face kind of looks like.
Oh my god, you're right.
It looks like a wafer bar.
Holy crap. You're correct.
Oh god, yeah.
So that's kind of what it looks like. And then he falls over, has a bunch of white stuff come out of his face, which I think knows the stuff. And that's when Mo and Charlie end up hopping in the boat.
And then I think he chops the guy's face in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
As they're trying to get away.
And they go to the diner.
They go to the diner, and that's where Mo is trying to test out a theory to see who else has been corrupted by the stuff, which is his suspicion, where he goes to
you
Charlie,
got any of the stuff? And everybody
as loud as he can.
Yeah.
He tells Mo, "You got any of the stuff?" And the waitress who's sitting there says, "No, we're all fresh out.
We got a shipment coming soon."
And after that, that's when Mo, because there was a couple people who were looking at him pretty oddly.
Oh yeah.
So after that, Mo writes down a number or a name, and he slides over to Charlie and says, "Go to Washington and go talk to
the FBI."
FBI agent. Yeah, I can't remember the name.
It was very nondescript, and it was only ever said once, so that's.
And he didn't make an appearance.
No.
It was an off-screen character.
Talk to him.
And he says, and basically he tells the waitress, he's like, "Are you gonna order anything?" And he's like, Mo goes, "Nope." I'm gonna get out of here. My friend's gonna go a different way. And then he asked one of the locals for a ride back up to the gas station.
And he shows up with it.
Where he was, where his car is. And yeah, that's when we see after Charlie leaves too, right?
She goes into the cooler and it's full
waitress.
of stuff.
Yeah, she walks
Goes
to the
in.
back to the freezer and it's full of the stuff.
And we see like a box. Like I still can't get over like how much
Props.
How much effort
Props.
they put into the...
Yeah, it's like you mass produced a whole line.
Well, I don't think they're like super hard to produce. Those
They're
like,
not,
cartons.
but it's expensive.
The cartons.
They add up.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's the commitment, really, because it's to the point where even when they go and meet later on in the film with, like, CEOs of the company that sells the stuff, their limo's got, like, a pink and purple stripe on it.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a lot even for a budget, because this only had a budget of $1.7 million.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, so, like...
Some of those explosions at the end, that's, like, 90% of it.
Because, like, that's why I said, when you look at how much marketing, fake marketing, and props that they had, that is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Some of the props are kind of whack in a way, but we'll get to that later.
It was whack a pun. Yeah.
Basically, after this, so we...
The dog? Did we
get...
the dog?
Oh, yeah, the dog!
Retrieve these documents from an ex...
Yep.
The stuff factory worker... and basically, as they have a conversation, and Mo kind of asks him some questions about the company and what he knows, and if he could have some of the files, because I believe the dude was let go.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and he had some files of the company and kind of what their filthy little secrets were
Then he was
hiding.
Yeah, and he talks about how he loves the stuff. He eats it all the time.
And
And
then-
he even gives it to his dog, which is a
Hint,
Great
hint.
Dane. Yeah.
Which you start to notice how paranoid he looks at his dog, which
And his dog growls at him, too.
this was a Great Dane. Nothing against Great Danes, but you know that
They're massive and terrifying.
yeah, they look intimidating, even though some of them are some of the sweetest dogs ever.
Check Marmaduke and Scooby-Doo. But,
Yeah, but it's I think what makes it really that much more intimidating is that it's a black Great Dane for one.
Yeah.
It's completely jet black. That with the ears, and it seems like every devil dog movie or anything that's used for hellhounds in the 80s,
like Cujo
in
and
some of
stuff.
these movies. No,
Well, Cujo wasn't
Cujo
black.
was a Saint Bernard.
Well, I
Those
mean,
don't
like,
come in black.
No, Great Danes specifically were used as devil dogs.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
most of the
true.
time in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Or isn't it like, that's also like the rich guy, those are the dogs he's got
Yeah,
guarding.
like Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Release the hounds. Yeah.
You could be like, release the hound, Smithers.
Was Burns' voice, was that... It sounds like they're making fun of Trump, but that predates it by so much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Trump was around in, like, the 90s and 80s.
But he wasn't as prominent. He was prominent, but he wasn't
No.
like...
People didn't really pay attention to him.
I guess, yeah.
We're not going to get in trouble.
No.
No. Sorry.
So the stuff, the dog gets the thing, and then it
Oh,
cuts to
yeah.
like the dog attacking the guy, and it pulls the
Well,
Oh,
phone
I
line.
love it.
First,
Oh, yeah.
Mo gets the files, and as he's walking out, we notice that the dog has been trying to pay attention. And even Mo asks the dog, he's like, why is your owner so afraid of you?
Let's get you a treat, and then
Oh, yeah.
They go to the back room, and Mo sees how much stuff
is in the kitchen.
is in the kitchen, and it is literally a whole counter full. And it's stacked up in front of the counter and the tables.
And then I think the guy comes down with the files.
He comes out with the file, hands it to Mo. Mo still is looking suspiciously at the dog because the dog is staring at the owner this entire time. Which, you know, for dogs, it's like, even if they're close to their owner, they still always look at new people. But this dog, new.
Nope. And he's growling, too.
Yeah. And that's when we cut to Mo leaving, getting in his car, and that's when we see the dog.
The most beautiful scene in the movie. Or wait, no, not that yet. By a million miles.
And after
Second.
Mo leaves, that's when they say, let's go get you a treat. That's when the owner says it. And then we cut to Mo, and then we cut back to the guy screaming.
And like under a
trying-
desk.
Yeah, trying to...
Stay away from the dog. Or call someone.
He's trying to call somebody because the dog's attacking him.
Which I think is the police.
Yeah.
And then the dog rips the phone line off the wall.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
And then after...
It's Jaw. What happens?
And then
Break
we
it
do
down, make it
we
for
do
us.
we see the dog that they've trained it to, so it's like barking at the actor. But after that, that's when we see
the most beautiful thing.
the
Second.
Yeah,
this
second.
cutaway of the dog vomiting up the stuff.
Yeah.
like on him.
Which something to note about everybody who vomits up the stuff, their mouth looks like a bunch of mini swollen tonsils.
Yeah,
Oh,
and not in a
Brownish swollen tonsils.
good way. And not in a good way.
Is there a
It
good
kind of
way?
looks like honeycombs, but
Yeah,
if
it
they
does.
were like...
Is there a good way? You have your
Puffed out.
fantasy, I have mine, alright? No, I'm kidding.
Oh god.
So basically the dog just, in this cutscene, he's just like, "Wah!" And then
Yeah.
it cuts back, and it looks like the worst cutaway ever. Like, you could tell it was so fake.
Yeah.
It was creative, but it was so badly placed. It's just,
Exactly.
like, so abrupt and out of nowhere here and gone.
And then we also get... Mo almost gets hit by a stuffed truck.
Yeah, after he's
when
walking
he's in the
back
cities.
with the file, he starts walking through the city, and we see
This lady
one of
at
this...
a stand.
Yeah, lady at the stuff stand.
At a hot dog cart with the stuff
And
in
then
it.
pulls out a giant walkie-talkie.
I mean, that's not uncommon. There's ice cream trucks.
It's
Or, I
not
mean,
a truck,
trailer.
though. It's a little...
Or a little ice cream
It's
stand.
like a hot dog stand.
But those
almost.
those aren't... it's probably because we live in Minnesota and those things aren't commonplace
You don't see these
here.
in Minnesota. No, you'll see them in Illinois sometimes.
Illinois, New York,
A lot. I mean, yeah.
Any big city, really.
But yeah, she reaches into the thing, pulls out a giant walkie-talkie.
A
Says,
comically large walkie-talkie. Can we
Which is
agree?
like, was there any stuff in there in the first place?
I don't know, man.
probably.
But she's like, he's there, get him. And then a truck comes by and almost hits Mo.
Yeah, and it's the
stuff
stuff truck,
truck.
which further adds to Mo's suspicion and starts to confirm, like, they are hiding something a lot. There's something very wrong.
Oh, I thought they were just after him the whole time.
No, they weren't.
They were after him because he's digging up stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that
nobody
makes
really
more sense.
saw him until he went.
So,
And
do you think they knew he was like an agent?
I think they knew he was
I
asking
don't-
too many
they,
questions.
They just knew he was
Okay.
asking too many questions.
Yeah, that makes more
I mean,
sense.
that's the thing about a lot of these corporate movies. They don't really care who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a journalist. Doesn't matter if you're with the government. If you just ask too many questions and you spread it,
you
then it
kinda
doesn't
need
matter.
to disappear.
You just kind of need to disappear before anybody knows.
Yeah. But then we cut back to the kid, right?
Yep, we could cut back to the kid.
Oh, yeah, it's
Jason
like
is
some-
back home, and his parents are angry at him.
Oh, no, wait,
for-
doesn't he go to the kitchen? It's like you see the bag full of the food and then the bag full
Oh
of
yeah,
the
they're
stuff.
throwing out all the regular stuff that's in the fridge, and next to that is also a garbage bag of a bunch of empty stuff containers. So he's like, my parents and brother have been eating a lot of it.
And that's when because I thought they were pissed at him because of what he did at the store too.
They didn't hear.
No, he was
about
up in
that.
his room and then he went downstairs and we saw the garbage bags.
See, that makes no sense. They missed that.
They're
part
not
so
very attentive parents when they're addicted to Jell-O.
Well, no. I'm looking at it this way because that's bad script writing though, because the Jason last at the end of that scene was literally held down by 3 adults.
Yeah.
And
So the
then
fact that the cops didn't bring him home or the parents didn't say, but given the nature of what's happening too,
I think it was the next day or something because I remember it was like the daytime and he was just sitting on his bed. kinda
Well,
like
and
pouting.
also they've been
Yeah.
like eating a lot of the stuff, so they probably don't care
anymore. That's what I was saying. Given the nature of what's happening,
yeah.
with
Given the
stuff.
nature of the situation.
But yeah, we see all the stuff thrown out, and that's when Jason's parents confront him and said,
You gotta eat this.
try to eat the stuff. And he's like, "There's no way I'm going to eat that." And that's when they say, "Okay, well, go up to your room." His dad hands him
no, wait, wasn't that later in the movie?
He tries to run away, and his brother grabs him, right?
I swear that was like after a while. Cause I think at first. It's
No,
like,
he comes home, sees his brother, comes downstairs, realizes how much stuff they've been eating.
And then I think
And then
they.
they're
Then
like,
he
you
tries-
should try some, and then he runs out the
And
back
then
door,
his-
and his brother grabs him.
Yeah, he tries to run out the front door.
Front door? Okay.
Yep, and then his brother grabs him.
I forgot how fast this movie goes. That was the one thing I was confused by.
It is very...
Yeah.
Snappy. Yeah, so his brother gets him, brings him back in the house, and that's when his dad hands him a container of the stuff and says, "You cannot leave your room until you eat this."
Yeah.
So
he makes the bold choice.
to go upstairs and go into the bathroom because the way the house is laid out, you can't see the bathroom. It's at the end of the hallway, and then there's
His bedroom. Right.
a bedroom, yeah, which kind of looks like my aunt and uncle's house, but if the staircase was on the opposite side.
What if that's what you found out? They're living in the house from the stuff, and that's where they bought it.
They have a pretty big house, so that'd be pretty interesting. That means I have to be in a different state, and they'd have to have a whole remodeling of that house.
That means you could film the sequel.
They'd have to. That means they would have had to tear the house down and redo it. But
the stuff too, the taste.
He starts throwing it on the toilet, and then it like tries to come
Yeah,
out
it
the toilet.
morphs.
yeah, he
like-
dumps it in there, and
It tries to come out at him.
yeah, which was an interesting look. Which is
Yeah.
an interesting animation.
It's interesting. It's different.
They close, and then that's when he slams the lid shut and flushes it. And in order to cover up the fact that he hasn't eaten it,
He does something
he
which we would never do.
He fills it with dino embryos.
No.
no.
It's just the same can. Sorry. He fills it with shaving cream.
Yeah, she puts shaving cream into the stuff container, and then uses the spoon, and he walks downstairs and says, "Oh yeah, I love it."
And he's
starts
eating
the shaving cream.
No. I wouldn't be... This kid can commit way better than I can. No. I would rather die.
Which the brother gets a little suspicious because he goes to take some, and
He's like,
and that's
no,
when
it's
Jason's
mine.
no, it's mine. Get your own.
Which is a reaction.
Yeah. But the whole time when he gets to the kitchen, we see that the mom and the dad and everybody,
She put a bunch out into a tray and is scooping it onto people's
Oh no,
plates.
it was
she put it in
a
one of
glass
those,
bowl, like a punch bowl.
Yeah, that's what I
like a
mean.
punch bowl, full of it, and then she starts to gloop it onto people's plates.
It's one of those bowls that's used for like 7-layer salads.
Or like
one of those
soup or
that you
something.
see at a baby shower.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
we're making the salad. What's the first
just
layer?
one of those
Mayonnaise,
Or like
potatoes,
something you would
potato
see
chips,
in a cupboard.
Skittles. Like,
It's like something you would see in a cupboard, but you never really use except for when people come over for like
It's one of those
holidays.
fancy
Yeah.
fancy.
bowls.
Why are we taking this much time to talk about the bowl she's using?
That's what I was about to say. Basically, though, as he's eating the whipped cream, his dad is looking at him the entire time, giving him the stink eye. Like,
Well-
I didn't really like the dad. The dad seemed like a dick. It seems like his marriage is falling apart, or he just had a giant stick up his ass.
Yeah,
Wasn't he
and
corrupted?
his robe was way too loose all the time. But no, the thing that gives him away is he's like, "You gonna eat this with us then?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna finish this in my room and probably go to bed." And then
he
like,
just runs off like he's about to throw up.
well, because he says because of
yeah.
it, they haven't been tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't need to sleep. So that's what
And that's
gives
when he
him away.
gets a little suspicious. So, and then he sets down the container, and then the dad
Tastes it and realizes
puts
that-
2 fingers in there, shoves it as far as he can to his mouth, goes, gets wide-eyed, and is like, "Oh,
Get
liar!"
him! Yeah.
Cue ice cream music, doo-doo-doo. But yeah, he's
And they're chasing
Jason
him.
runs out the back, he runs out the front, and we get this shot of them chasing, and then they do a Hitchcock pull.
Yeah, not a Hitchcock pull. It's just a zoom in, but it's as jarring because Mo pulls up and it's like, "Get in!"
And that's when they do it on Jason's face, and it
Zoom.
looks so tacky.
Who are you?
It looks like one of those like Attack of the Tomatoes or something like really cheesy type of
It looks like something out of
dun dun dun.
It looks like something out of a '90s Sunny D commercial.
Oh,
or the
God.
50s movies, those early.
yeah.
Oh my god! Like Troll 2 or something like
They're
that.
eating her, and then
Now
they're gonna
they
eat me.
Oh
my
No,
god!
you gotta get the high pitch, the worst. Oh my god!
Let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about Troll 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one, but I know that the second one is
I know that
nightmare fuel and
I know
terribleness.
that neither of them have anything to do with the latter.
Yeah.
There's not even trolls in Troll 2.
Leprechaun. But at least that was consistent somewhat.
Well, it had Warwick Davis. That's why I love it.
Going on. Oh yeah, I did get Leprechaun Returns very cheap too.
Yes, Queen.
So we have to do something on the Leprechauns for.
Yeah. For
For
St.
Shitty
Patrick's
Cast.
Day.
Yes.
Maybe do one a year until we're finished with all of them.
But, I want to take a moment here to say that a lot of these creature movies and like low budget movies, Leprechaun 4 took place in space. Critters 4 took place in space.
Yeah, why is it
Jason X took place
I was gonna
in
say,
space.
yeah.
when they run out of ideas, they're like, no, zero
Which
gravity.
is one of the things in the Jaws 19 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Jaws 11
Yeah, exactly.
Space.
in space.
Space.
Jaws 12 part
Robo-Jaws.
1. No, it was Jaws 12 part 1, the groundbreaking prequel.
And
And
the
a part
Sequel
2
to the prequel.
sequel to the prequel. Yeah.
You still
and
can't
then-
forget Sharkovsky.
Sharkovsky.
If you guys want to look at that trailer and hear more about it, it does come officially by Universal. Their editing team did it. It's a joke of the Back to the Future 2 joke with Jaws 19 by quote Max Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
And him getting eaten by like one of the
No,
weirdest
of
looking
Marty McFly getting eaten by the hologram.
by the
Still
weirdest
looks
looking.
fake.
Yeah, it's
Still looks fake. But yeah, they made a fake trailer for it, I think for Jaws Day or something, and it was just really funny. So if you guys want to look that up, just look up Jaws 19 trailer, official trailer, and you'll find it. It's by Universal
How much do you think
Pictures.
the budget went into that hologram?
More than it should have.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's Universal. They probably paid for it and went,
Yeah.
we'll give you a little extra because you're promoting our product.
I mean, the love of that movie, Back to the Future 2, is, I'd say, Universal.
Okay, anyways, back to the glue coming alive.
Yeah, back to the glue.
The food!
The
Don't get people
stuff.
confused.
I thought we were supposed to be sniffing glue. Or was it yogurt? Yeah, it's yogurt.
It's
That's a
yogurt.
different
don't. Yeah, let's not get people confused on the product.
We're announcing our new High All the Time podcast, where we do different things and then talk while on them.
But yeah, basically, Stranger Danger, Jason hops in Mo's car.
Who are you?
Which they said, these two said, isn't it kidnapping? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, he did hop in a federal agent's car.
Yeah, and he is getting chased
And
by
then
his family.
Yeah, and then I'm going, well, you just walk into a free candy van.
A candy van? Yeah, without the fun of the candy.
Yeah.
That wasn't me making. I'm sorry. Let's cut that.
Sorry.
Anyway, so what are you?
Yes.
You alive?
I'm
What's
alive.
going on?
I'm just not saying anything.
No, it was
Sorry.
catatonic for 7 minutes.
No, I just
Jesus.
I just know that with everything going on, that people are a little oversensitive.
We're cutting that out. So yeah, he gets into Mo's car.
Yeah.
And then they drive away, and then Mo gets on the jet with the kid and the girl, right?
Which still confuses me.
Yeah, because the Nicole is the girl from earlier that he met at the shoot, and she's the one who's willing to help him because she works with the company and she has her suspicions too of what the stuff is doing to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she knows that a lot of people that she's working with are acting different, and that, the theme of this movie too is consumerism. Is it really emphasizes if something is too addicting.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something that's wrong with it?
Morally, should you be selling it?
Yes.
Although you could say the same thing about sugar.
Yeah.
Because sugar's in everything.
That's true.
Sugar's in ketchup. How the heck is that a thing?
Natural sugars too.
Yeah, sugar cane.
Well,
It makes it sweeter.
I was gonna say sugar or
Corn
ketchup.
syrup.
Well, I was gonna say ketchup does kind of have a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So
Like it's
back to Mo and them. They're on the plane. They fly to, where is it? Pennsylvania?
Oh wait, no, the lady was at the plane too. The woman.
Yeah, the woman
yeah,
and Mo and
everybody.
Jason.
Mo, Nicole, and Jason. The three of them fly.
Yeah, our Fellowship of the Ring
Jason-
flies too. Yeah.
Jason is asleep on the plane, and to which Mo and Nicole just say, okay, everything that he's been through, basically,
He
we're
talks
just
to
gonna
the
leave.
jet pilot. He's like, watch the kid in 3 hours. If we're not back, take him this place. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
Yeah, so basically Mo and Nicole hop into, that's the first time we get to see the stuff limo.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I like the color scheme. It's like a pink and orange,
It's subtle.
It wasn't it like a light gray with a pink and purple stripe up the side?
No, it was bright pink.
It wasn't bright pink. The whole car?
No, the car was silver.
No,
Yeah.
I was talking about the logo.
Oh, was there?
Oh,
a
yeah,
logo?
the logo.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the logo. I guess a small logo.
let's look up.
I'm talking about the car in general.
It was
Oh,
like a
God.
Regal or I don't know. It was like a Buick something.
Note to self, it was a Buick something.
Exactly.
Great model.
It'd be nice if I could just look up, anything on the internet when I ask it, and then not have it show like a bunch of weird, stupid stuff.
Was that
Well,
a police?
Okay.
that's
Was that a
just your
police car
porn
limo?
history.
Well, anyway.
We found a picture of the car later. Here it is. Bam! Alright, just added that in. Yeah, yeah.
So basically, what ends up happening, after that is we meet, if I remember, it is the two people who founded it, or is that at the end?
That's the end.
We
Okay,
meet
so
the
we
factory
see-
worker, don't we?
We meet the two
We go to the factory.
corporate workers on the way to the van.
In the car, yeah.
Yeah, they're more
yeah.
the overseers, the two managers of the main plant where the
Yeah.
stuff is being produced. And they're on their way to the factory with Mo and Nicole. And what is it they say? Because they ask them who they are again, and they're saying that they were doing a check to see
They were doing a tour.
tour of the stuff factory to kind of give a report.
Yeah. They're with the food administration.
Yeah, which
Health.
because
Blah blah blah.
that was the first time Mo didn't have some random half-ass story to say about.
He actually had
who
to
he
think
was.
about it.
Yeah, actually, I had to think about it. So Nicole basically comes up with the idea that they're working with the food administration, and they pull up to the factory, and then they kind of just start taking a tour of it. And then meanwhile, we cut to Jason and realize that Jason is
He's asleep
waking up.
He's waking up in the jet. Yeah.
Yep, in which we see the stuff.
Come out of the pilot.
Start to.
It's getting pumped into the jet.
Oh, wait, was it? I thought it came out of the pilot.
No, it was getting pumped. We see some guys come.
Oh, that's
up
right.
Behind it with the hose. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And
they
they start
throw
to-
it on the pilot or something. I don't know. I remember
The
Yeah,
pilot gets some on his face.
and they
Pilot
come
gets
from
up
the
on its
cockpit.
face, and
He
then it
dies.
starts to creep towards Jason, and
He
at
comes
that
up.
point, he
He
You
gets
wanna
out
heads out the back,
The
the
cargo.
luggage space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
block
cargo.
space, and starts to run
He just
the opposite
runs.
direction.
He just.
Just runs into the forest.
And he runs to the factory. He ends up going the opposite way and ended up at the factory, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Ironic. How far away was that factory that they needed a car?
Watch it just.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just
Well,
a-
how fast does the kid run? Maybe that's
Yeah, that's
the thing,
the other
too.
question.
No,
what
it's
is
just
he, Olympic runner?
It's just that little tree line at the edge, and then it's just a factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Airport, tree line,
He went
factory.
the opposite way, the limo, too.
Oh yeah, maybe the limo did a big loop.
Maybe the factory just lives in your heart, and wherever you go,
The
there
factory
it
is
is.
like the factory is like the stuff; it just moves around.
Yeah. So after Jason gets to the factory, he ends up trying to... Well, he hides up on one of the trucks, in which nobody notices him, not even the guards. Everybody's just sitting and chit-chatting, not doing
Yeah,
their job.
just to give you an idea, it's this kid wearing a red shirt and blue jeans.
And he's
Which-
on a silver truck.
This factory is heavily guarded.
I
By the
wouldn't
way, too.
By people who need to get paid less.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say guarded, but there's just workers everywhere.
Well, it's an extent of guarded because it is out in the middle of nowhere where nobody can find it.
Potato, vodka, who cares? So he climbs into the truck.
He ends up climbing into
Which
the
is-
tank of the truck.
Yeah, which is still really stupid.
And to hide, and
The tank
that's
trailer.
when one of the workers comes up as they're preparing those trucks to go get a fill up of the stuff from the location that we saw in the first film,
And-
where they found where they mined for it or
Yeah,
and
drilled
shuts,
for it.
and shuts the lid.
And
Yeah,
he
somebody
shuts the
just-
top of the truck, and then Jason is caught in there and gets stuck in there, and then
They're Mo and them are getting a tour
You know-
of the factory.
I just thought about something. Or sorry,
Oh, don't do that. That's bad.
Well-
No, go on.
little off topic here. So he gets trapped in the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't he just suffocate?
no, that's
I thought they were
tank.
airtight.
He's a tiny fellow. It's a big thing.
I guess, sure.
Yeah.
Do you like my explanation?
I don't think it really took that long because from what we see, it doesn't take that long.
I mean,
It's-
it goes from
Well, wasn't
daylight
it,
to sunset.
It was more like nighttime actually when they
Yeah.
finally get there, and then they. I don't even think they did. They open.
well,
the-
we are talking about a sentient.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you
We're talking about
questioning
something.
this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, but basically, Mo and Nicole leave
After their
and-
tour. And...
After the tour, and they find out from the documents kind of where the location of the first, or they tell them where they first found the stuff.
Yeah.
So they head out to the beginning of the first film where they have now completely uncovered all the snow, put up lights, and started mining for it. And you basically
And they
see
they
It's
have
like-
the mine.
It's
The
almost
mine
like
is
a lake.
The mine is a front, and it says that the mine's closed.
Yeah, it's almost like a lake of the stuff now.
Yeah.
yeah, which they do this little pop up kind of like lava boil
Yeah.
thing, which is really creepy. And I wonder
I
how
mean,
they did that.
It doesn't even look like
Air
pop-up
tanks?
lava boiling. It looks like arms coming out and moving around.
Yeah, it looked like people kind of
And
moving around
going
in
out,
it too.
yeah. Which kind of gave me Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
God.
that chocolate river makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry, anything that has to do the submachine phobia thing. So anything that has to do with machinery or looks very foreign just looks weird, and I don't like it.
What is? I'm sorry, but
What
can I
is
just ask a quick question?
Okay.
What is submachine phobia?
It's basically like you don't like underwater machinery, so like animatronics and
Of
stuff.
sub, like under.
Oh,
That's why.
okay.
Yeah, that's
you
why.
thought you were thinking submachine gun as well as I.
No, I was just confused in general.
Welcome to my life, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, we see Mo. He hops up to get from a perspective on a mountain, so he gets kind of a perspective of the
Lake.
of the mountain.
And he dresses up as the workers there who
One
are
of the
pumping
workers.
it out.
Because he just happens to have a yellow uniform.
He,
No,
you
he
see it,
snatched
takes
it.
it from a guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Don't
we skipped,
question more continuity.
didn't we? Wait, we just skipped the motel. Because didn't they go there after the motel?
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. They stay at a
We're
motel.
sorry, guys. Yeah, they go to a motel.
This movie is very fast. It's
Yeah,
very
like I said, that's the
fast-paced.
only problem I had
I don't
with
even
it.
know
was
if
the
it has a
pacing.
clear plot. It's just like a sequence of vignettes.
That-
Like-
I'll
They're not a plot.
Well-
There's people trying to investigate a corporate.
right, but they go to more locations than around the world in 80 days. Like,
Well, yeah.
Like that was the only problem I had with it is the pacing. That's why I was so confused the whole time. Was just the really
that,
it was really
that.
fast
Yeah.
pacing wise.
But don't get us wrong. It's an enjoyable movie.
it's like a Jackass movie. Here. Yeah.
But you are all over. It's like a squirrel on crack.
Not as fun as you'd think.
Squirrel and stuff.
I don't think that make it wild. I think that make it like
It'd
it's
make it
stoned.
soothed. Like,
Yeah, like it's stoned.
and then
considering
it like
the fact
look
that
at
it's-
you, and then its jaw would
And-
open.
This is the first time that we actually see what the stuff is capable of.
Yeah, because it
Which-
like moves and it covers the main guy Mo's face.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah, 'cause it
Mo
was
and
in a-
Nicole.
It was in a
go-
pillow.
Mo and Nicole go to the motel, stay in a specific room. They have them stay in a specific room.
Yeah, they're staying in the same bed, but they're not making fun times. I'll
Yeah.
point
Yeah,
that
no,
out.
they're
And
on the
then
opposite side, just friends,
And then
Yeah.
without
and then,
benefits, unfortunately. And
Well, the benefit
the
is
pillow.
the friendship, I think.
yeah, and that's when we realize that
it's a setup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
'cause
pillow
the-
just blah, 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 starts
Well-
leaking the stuff.
when you look at it, it was actually in the bed all along. They
thought it
pumped
was-
the whole bed full of
Oh,
it.
it's like a water bed.
Yeah, they pumped the whole bed full of the stuff.
And then
Because you can't get enough of this.
and it like jumps on Mo's face.
Yeah, it grabs Mo's face. And then Nicole hops out of the bed, tries to help him. She decides.
She's like, I'm going to burn it. So she gets a kerosene lamp and takes the top
No,
off and
didn't they-
starts pouring.
I thought it was a bottle of.
It wasn't
No.
alcohol, it was a lamp. It was
Was
an
it a lamp?
old-timey lamp.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
An old-timey candle lamp.
Which, keep in mind, too, this is suffocating poor Mo at the same time. And she's trying to tell him to put his hands down, which
Put your hands
is
down.
literally
I'm
against...
going to burn it and cover your face with fire.
Which
Like-
literally is against every instinct anyway, to not try to grip the thing that's
Yeah,
trying to suffocate your face.
That's like saying, here's a face hugger, just relax.
Just relax. You
It'll
know,
be
let
over
the tube
soon.
go down your throat. You
But
know?
yeah, they do that. She lights a match, lights on fire. It all
It
catches,
comes off, yeah.
and then it all catches on fire and goes on the wall.
They start a series of fires.
And then some random guy wearing a plaid shirt comes out of nowhere.
And
Yeah.
yells, "Leave us alone."
Leave us alone!
Which is unconfirmed if he's also...
I think he was on stuff.
On the stuff,
For
yeah.
sure.
It wouldn't make sense
But-
if this random guy comes out of nowhere.
But the
Just
problem
random crackhead,
is...
leave us alone.
See, now the problem with that is, and that's why I questioned it too, that was one thing to question in this movie, because of the fact that he... The way he reacts when he falls into the stuff and starts bringing him up the wall...
Yeah, that is weird.
He freaks out.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's like it controls you, but not like fully in a way. If
I
that
mean,
makes
he could have
sense.
been early in the stages of eating the stuff too.
Maybe-
Just enough to be kind of...
Yeah,
Maybe
affected.
the
The line could have been wrong too. Who knows?
well, maybe the giant form of the stuff that was on the wall just sensed that it was a person and thought it was Mo.
And then just consumed it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, I think, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I'm trying to feed logic to a movie that clearly wasn't meant to have one.
Yeah.
So
But-
that is a problem.
Basically, after that, they head towards the mine early, and that's where we meet up, where Mo is now disguised. He knocks out a guy behind the truck after telling Nicole to wait up on the mountain where she's out of sight.
Oh, yeah, he's disguised.
Takes his hat.
He's disguised.
Takes his hat, puts it on the front of the truck, starts planning C4 while muttering, "I'll show you the life of the mine." No, I'm kidding.
Which I love.
Yeah, he starts
I s-
putting C4. Oh, sorry.
We need to watch that movie.
Yeah, we do.
But he starts putting C4 up on the rock wall to cover the lake and rock.
They're gonna bury it. They're
Yeah,
gonna bury it.
basically.
And then
Is that a touchscreen?
he finds the kid in the tanker while it's being filled with the stuff, and we get some great green screen.
Oh, God,
Which-
yeah.
Oh, man, that looks so... If it wasn't in such an oval or circular shaped area, maybe it would have worked.
Yeah, but when he's
But
walking
the
on green screen,
outline,
it
the
looks like
outline you can tell is not there.
It could have been better.
But it definitely showed that was a low rent 80s movie.
Yeah, it does make me think of one thing, and I'm sorry for going off topic, but
No, you're
this
fine.
is one thing that has, Back to the Future?
Which one? The first one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one thing that has bothered me with that movie for the longest time. When the car disappears and the flames go, like, below their feet,
Uh-huh.
for, like, a split second, you can see, like, Marty's foot, like, over the flame. like standing in the fire, but
Sure.
it like doesn't go over his foot. He's like, it's like over it.
Yeah.
It's always bugged me for the longest time. since
I mean,
noticed it.
You're talking about continuity errors in a movie where a guy goes back in time and gets hit on by his mom.
I know.
Like,
I
There's a lot of errors.
yeah. There's a lot of questionable choices.
But
Fine.
after we have
After he steals the tanker.
no
They save the kid.
Mo gets Jason out of the tanker, which Jason's trying to stay away from the stuff that the little bit of stuff that they're pumping in
It's creeping and crawling.
to the back of the truck. And so Mo opens up the tank lid and then lifts Jason out right in time to see this stuff putting what looks like a fist. It kind of formulates itself a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like more of a fist that is shooting up out of the tanker, and they slam the lid shut at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So they slam the lid closed, and after that,
They all
Jason-
get in there and then they drive away and he
Yep,
pushes
Mo-
the button.
Yep, Mo, Nicole, and Jason all head out, and then they get pulled over by a cop who's on the stuff because they left the hose out and it's shooting all over the street.
Oh yeah, and tell them about your favorite line of dialogue in the movie, no?
Oh yeah, when he pulled him over.
Oh yeah, your hose is hanging out.
You gonna arrest me for indecency?
Oh yeah, you're gonna arrest me for indecent exposure, which is
Yeah.
also a great line.
It's. I feel like it was improv.
Maybe.
It could have been. I think it was one of the most clever lines of the movie, just because that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Oh really? So you're a pervert and that? No, I'm kidding.
I make dirty jokes out of anything. I have no shame in that. And then afterwards, we have Nicole and them try to consume, or they basically fake out the cop saying that, oh yeah, we're so hungry for the stuff. Aren't you hungry for the stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, and then he comes by, Mo knocks him out,
With a single karate chop to the back of the neck.
and then we get Military Man, correct?
I don't.
No. After they kill the cop, they end up heading to some unknown location, and that's where we meet the military soldiers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they like pull up. He goes out to meet the guy, and then they get ambushed
Yeah.
by a bunch of soldiers.
And then,
And then we zoom up
Mo-
to a guy.
well, Mo identifies who he is.
Yeah, he's here to see some colonel.
The general.
Colonel.
Who is Malcolm
No wait, he was a colonel.
Malcolm
He was a colonel, I think.
Gromit. No, or Malcolm Gromit, yeah.
Is he Colonel or General? What's his rank?
Colonel.
Colonel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll concede.
By Paul Sorvino.
Great actor.
Yep.
He's in a lot of good
So-
stuff.
Basically, Mo's partner worked with Malcolm, and then we get a bunch of these kind of cheesy scenes afterwards of the military kind of rolling out. They invade the factory,
A lot of shooting.
a lot of shooting, and we basically see that the workers have died and are hollowed out, in which Malcolm calls them, damn commies killed themselves.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
wait, we're jumping ahead a bit.
Yet we're a little short on time.
That's
Okay,
why.
Can I just say this is also? I get they had budget constraints, but the guns they were using, it was like half of them were using like M16, AR-15 things. Then the other half were using a prototype of the Tommy gun.
I don't know gun types really. I just
do-
know you point it and it shoots, and that's what that is.
Well, I do remember that like specific one was one of the prototypes that they came up with for it.
Did you know?
Yes.
All right.
Did you know? Film nerds hour.
Sorry.
But for us, it's not a rainbow. It's like you giving the middle finger in different ways, and then just
Yeah, or a big film reel.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I guess that would be more on brand. Why am I thinking of you giving? All right. So the stuff.
Basically, they raid the factory. The stuff tries to chase them.
I remember he bashes one guy's head in, and it's just red mist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he says the commies killed themselves. That Malcolm says that, and basically, they realize that all these bodies have been hollowed out, suggesting that the stuff has eaten them
Inside out.
from the inside out. Yeah, and leaves nothing else.
Yep.
So
Just
they're
a
just-
hollow shell.
It's basically just wearing them.
Yep, and then we see that Nicole and Jason get separated again. And that
Somehow,
the stuff.
for like the third time.
Yeah, the stuff chases them out. The factory explodes because of the stuff trying to break out.
Oh yeah, and
And
crushes
then-
two poor soldiers next to a wall.
Yeah, Malcolm And then they all get in taxis, head to town to get to the radio station to
yeah.
broadcast this emergency broadcast.
Oh wait, we missed the giant fireball that was left of the factory.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's alright. But anyway.
Oh yeah, and then the military rolls out in taxis.
Yep, in taxis in which they all run through the street, which is very tacky and very funny.
It really
It's
is.
a very campy scene.
Like, can't even get a Jeep to just pick up an airport taxi.
Exactly. And we get into the radio station, and we
Nicole's writing what they're gonna say over the radio.
And then Charlie comes in.
and then we see Charlie back, and Malcolm starts to starts to broadcast what Nicole's read for the emergency broadcast about
Some
the
of
stuff
it,
and
yeah.
how dangerous it is.
And
That's when Charlie starts to freak out.
Well, Nicole leads him into another room
into like the recording
to
room.
give
That's right.
to write something for him to say.
Yeah, and then Charlie starts going on about like, so have you seen like the effects that this has on people? And then
She's like,
have you seen it firsthand?
yeah. She's like, how have you seen it firsthand? He's like, I'll show you. And then he proceeds to like,
Oh my god,
We
the
get
best
Open
thing.
his mouth, which is the both best and also cheesiest death
which
scene ever.
it's
It
sad
looks
that,
like a rubber mask.
it's sad that Charlie got infected. I was kind of bummed out.
Or that's because he's black.
What? Are you accusing me of just feeling sad because he's black? What?
No, I'm just accusing Hollywood of killing him
Oh,
off in the respect because he's black.
okay. You're accusing Hollywood of being racist,
Because
not
that's usually
of
the time
me
period.
feeling white guilt. Okay, so
Yeah.
so we get like 9 different sculpts of his face, none of which look like the guy, and
It looks like a rubber mask.
Yeah, which if you look at this image right here,
I love that so much.
I love it in a way that makes me feel ashamed.
it looks like the inside of his mouth literally looks like a whole bunch of infected tonsils.
Yeah, but his
Hot.
face is so
Hot.
Yeah, and then he starts barfing up the white stuff.
Yeah, and then he
The
basically
stuff. Say the name.
explodes.
God. Yeah, he explodes. They break her out of there, and then they record like nothing happened. And
And then the stuff gets set on fire
He electrocutes it.
from
The wires.
Mo electrocuting with the wires.
Yeah.
yeah, and then they record, and then she like says in the weeks that follow, and we get like a recap, which is basically just a voiceover of buildings blowing up.
It's like
right?
a hand.
We're still looking at special effects.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are looking at that. Look up
Awesome.
Charlie explodes and the stuff. But yes, we see that a bunch of buildings have like kind of burned down and that
They
lot of
blow up the
chaos.
Dairy Queen stuff place.
Yeah, they start rioting and like burning all the stuff.
After the truth is revealed, and then we skip ahead to Jason and Mo, who go to the actual corporate building to confront the two people who discovered the stuff and marketed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they walk in
And-
with the box of stuff. And
Well,
plus-
Well,
Not
'cause
yet.
they are going
Oh.
to. They're trying to remarket the stuff
As the taste.
oh yeah,
which has a hint of stuff still in it, but not
Not
enough
enough
to
to
affect
Quote,
you.
corrupt people, yeah.
And they're like, "Have you tested that?" And you're like, "Yeah, small town in Illinois." And it's like,
no.
yeah,
Into which Mo and Jason, for obvious reasons, are not
happy,
enthralled.
yeah.
And they basically bring in a box of the stuff. Mo calls in Jason, who brings in a bunch of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're like, "You're making a child do this," and he's like, "He's not a child anymore. His parents and brother are dead like,
because of you and what you sold. And what really makes these guys know that they're probably bullshitting is the fact that Mo tells him to try it then if it's so not dangerous. And the guy gives him this disgusted and horrified look.
Exactly.
And
then-
refuses to.
and then they bring in the box of stuff.
Yep,
and
Jason.
force him to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Jason puts the box in front of him, and then Mo whips out a gun, takes 2 shots, and says, "The next one's going to be going into your eyeballs."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also another weird gun, but yeah.
Yeah. Did he have a Luger? What
No,
was
he had a PO8 or a
Okay.
P38.
All right. So then, yeah, they force him to eat cartons and cartons of it.
Until they're addicted to it themselves, and you know that they're going to die.
Yeah, and then we just cut to the end of them like
Well,
getting
the-
to the last stuff. Oh yeah.
And then the last scene is we get the truck, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep, we get a
the
truck
dope
of a
dealers.
private dealer who's spreading the stuff still.
like
Yeah.
dope dealers almost.
Which is a very, like, addiction kind of
Feel-
allegory
yeah,
to it, yeah.
Because they give these lower lives that look like they're in front of a strip club. Like
Where's
the
the
stuff.
cocaine? Like, yeah.
Yeah, they're very desperate and needy for it. So you can... It shows... It was
it's,
kind of...
it's still around.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, this movie is still a fun watch. It's kind of confusing. It's one of those things you have to watch, but it's definitely enjoyable for an 80s
It's a
flick.
cheesy
It's an
flick.
interesting,
cheesy monster flick.
interesting
Yeah.
commentary on consumerism,
Consumerism and addiction.
Commercials and addiction. Yeah.
But what did
How
you guys?
far someone will go to make a buck? Should I stop this?
I'm sorry, it was a
violence?
bit confusing for this one because
It was confusing for me more
it was
than
a
anything.
bit confusing for us. Yeah.
It was confusing for us, and this is our first episode recording with Doug. So
Howdy.
Hi. So we don't really know how to like who's gonna say what and when.
Sorry.
No, that's not a problem. That's
No,
on
no.
us because we did our last few episodes alone.
Unprofessional. Our last
Last couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, what did you guys think of this movie overall as a whole? I still enjoy it.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, it was a decent, for a cheesy movie, it's alright, I guess. For cheesy movie wise, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's something you can watch.
Yeah.
And to me, it was more surprising when I first saw it. Like, I knew it was going to be like a bad low rent movie, but it wasn't as bad. It was actually like pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
the effects and
just if you ever get the chance, like we listed earlier, if you ever
Check
get
it
the
out.
chance to just watch it once or twice, it's a decent flick to watch.
it's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue is campy and
If you want to see some kind of bad cheesy effects, it's a pretty decent film.
yeah, it's a good time.
Which we know Cleo would love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah, she's not gone from the show. Don't
Yep,
worry.
yep.
It's just
She's not dead.
It's you said it, not us. It's just scheduling stuff is the only issue.
Or ish.
which Cleo will have to watch this movie if you haven't already and you're listening to this.
Yeah, we'll have an episode where she gives a 10-minute thought on it or something.
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be
I think
fun.
we can have a general discussion because she's definitely the one who loves those cheesy
General
80s
discussion.
movies, so.
Yep.
Once again, guys, thank you all for listening. This has been Film Nerds Hour with your hosts Noah Sweeto and
Nathaniel Shoemaker.
Doug
Pseudonym Doug. He's like Batman.
Dimmadome.
The owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Yes.
All right, we ain't starting all that. All right, you guys have a blessed evening and
All right,
We'll
goodbye.
see you
with
next
love.
episode.
With love.